I met Charlotte the first time when I tried out at National Gymnastics when I was 6 years old. We just met that first day and became instant best friends. Along with McKayla, we were just the three amigos.
After picking them up from gym, it would be 9 o'clock at night and they'd be exhausted coming out from the gym. But as soon as they got in the car, it was Ritz crackers and Capri Suns and laughs and giggles and Nintendo games and just fun all the way home. And they were always the greatest of friends.
We talked about going to the Olympics together all the time. I remember we were vaulting one time and we were just pretending that we were all the Olympic gymnasts from 2004, and we each picked a gymnast and we pretended to be them. And
I still have a little note that she wrote when she was 7 years old. I'm going to the Olympics. I don't think she could spell the Olympics yet. So it's obviously always been there in the back of her mind. And
we were just so naive, I think is the right word. We just were yeah, we're gonna go. There was never really a question about it in any of our minds. And the fact that we're in the situation that we are now is really crazy. Well, I started trampoline when I was 13 years old, which is pretty late actually for everyone. But my background's in artistic gymnastics, so I've done that since I was 3 years old and kind of just went through the levels, did my thing there, but just the everyday grind, I just didn't have the passion for that anymore. And I think a lot of girls feel like that going through the sport, and a lot of people, athletes, get burned out all the time.
I knew that towards the end of Charlotte's artistic career that she definitely dealt with a lot of injuries, and I could feel that she was just ready to move on.
As a 13-year-old, that's a pretty big decision, and it kind of feels like the world is on your shoulders, but picking your own happiness over anything else and realizing that I loved myself enough to walk away from it, and I cared for myself enough to say maybe this isn't for me. That was the hardest thing I ever did, first of all. And second of all, it was the best thing I ever did, because that same day that I quit artistic, I started trampoline, and I've never been happier.
A friend of mine was a TNT coach, and she had always said, well, you know what, if she ever gets down on it, bring her over. So I did that, and as soon as she got there and jumped on the trampoline, she had found her home.
Trampoline was just so amazing. I couldn't stop smiling. I probably looked really stupid, but I just knew from my first day, I loved it and knew exactly that was where I wanted to be. Artistic gymnasts are really strong, and that was really what carried me for my first few years as a trampoline athlete, was just that I was really strong and that I could make the trampoline do what I wanted it to do.
Charlotte's strong point is her strength and her power, her ability to jump high. So she spends a longer time in the air, so her time of flight score is higher. But also, if you have more time in the air, you have more time to hit each of those shapes perfectly and really show your line to the judges. Another thing about her that usually is a disadvantage is her height. She's taller than most trampolinists, but because she has the ability to jump so high, she's able to do the skills she does even being as tall as she is. She has those nice long legs, so her line looks really beautiful in the air when she gets it straight.
As I progressed through the sport, I started to understand technique more. The little details, the little specific changes that make a huge difference in a sport as precise as trampoline. I started trampoline when I was 13, and I made the national team when I was 15. So it was really fast. It was such a whirlwind of just go, go, go. I went from level 7 to junior elite in almost a year and a half, I think. And that was crazy, and I was just thrown right into it, and I loved every second, but it was really overwhelming, and it was a learning experience, that's for sure. The feeling of being on trampoline is kind of like a roller coaster that you are in control of. That second of free fall, that's just the best feeling.
Take the hardest dive that you have ever seen in Olympic diving, and then land that dive and do it 9 more times. So do it 10 times in a row, and that would be the best way to describe the complexity of Olympic trampoline. I think trampoline draws a really unique crowd because we're all pretty much daredevils and just people that have zero care for their safety most of the time. That was so hard!
We compete 2 routines. The compulsory is composed of 10 skills in a row that are a little bit simpler, mainly to show your execution, your form, and your height. And then your optional routine is like the hardest skills you can do all in a row.
Doing trampoline, there's 3 different scores you're gonna get. One score, which is your aesthetic score, which you're used to seeing from artistic gymnastics or from diving. You know, your straight legs, your pointed toes, your arms straight. Then your second score is your degree of difficulty. You do your 10 skills, you add up the point value of each skill, and then you have a total difficulty score. Then the third skill is your time of flight. However long you spend above the trampoline, that many points is added onto your score.
I mean, it's crazy to see them do so many flips because, I mean, we still do like difficult skills, but they're doing like triple, quadruple flips, and it's crazy.
Trampolinists have a little bit of that X Games in them. They want to do crazy things, and they're those people who you're going to see run and jump off of cliffs or go skydiving out of airplanes. They're willing to do things that normal people would look at and go, yeah, that's probably not something I want to do on a regular basis.
Charlotte tries to like get me in her gym to just try to see what I can do, but I'm not as much of a daredevil, so it scares me kind of a little bit. She's always wanting to try new things and just take everything to the very extreme, so trampoline's perfect for her.
From here to Olympic Games, I have quite a lot of qualifications to go through still.
She did really well at World Championships, but just missed the automatic qualification spot, maybe by a couple tenths of a point. So she's got one more shot here where she can secure a spot for the United States.
We're heading down to Rio in April for test event, which is the country qualification into Rio. There's only one of us competing, so all the pressure is going to be on me to do that. But
assuming she makes her routine, she should qualify the spot. She's definitely one of the top level athletes that's going to this competition, still vying for a spot at the Olympics. So she has a very strong possibility of qualifying the spot for the US.
And then I have to qualify domestically. I have to make the spot mine. So we have 2 more trials. I've already had one, and I won that one, so that was really nice. And we have 2 more.
We have the Elite Challenge that's going to be at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado, and the US Championships, which is going to be in Providence, Rhode Island. At the Elite Challenge, the athlete that wins can earn some bonus points towards Olympic qualification, and then at US Gymnastics Championships, they will announce which athlete will make the team. So most likely, the winner of the US Championships will be the athlete that will go to the Olympics.
You got it. That's not very much. Yeah. I'll see you tonight. Yeah. We're gonna go have a bonfire on the beach. And, well, I got some wood. And we're gonna go burn it. Bonfires are like a special occasion, but we're always at the beach, for sure. Gotta get that good butt workout going. Because God knows we don't work out enough. Kyla's gonna come, she's gonna bring one of her friends. And then a couple other friends of mine from the gym are gonna come. And we're all just gonna hang out, roast some weenies, you know, make some memories. So we got the thick and crispy tortilla chips. Not just any tortilla chips, thick and crispy. Some buns. We have some buns. Where's the hot dogs? Oh my God. They're in my bag. I brought a Frisbee for endless fun. I'm gonna go swimming.
Just you.
I wanna go in. By we, I mean me.
Every young gymnast really is like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go to the Olympics. So for me and McKayla to go to 2012 together, that was like a really big deal because we started at the same gym. And then Charlotte is just so close and she's been really working towards that goal of hers. So to see her hopefully potentially make that team will be really special.
The fact that I'm really close right now to making it in my own sport, I took my own path. Even though I'm not in artistic gymnastics anymore, it's still the same dream. Like we still all want to go to the Olympics and we still all want to have that together. And it's just a little bit different. And that's okay.
Kyla and McKayla had very special talents in artistic gymnastics, and it was very fun to watch them be so successful. And when they made that Olympic team, it was obviously an incredible feeling for us to watch them.
I was so nervous when I watched them though. because I was freaking out and I was like wishing I was there so I could cheer them on and like help them.
And now watching them be very supportive of Charlotte and supporting her in her dream and her journey is very special for us.
I feel like they'll feel the same way. I think they'll be nervous for me, but they'll be super excited too.